So you can pull it up on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than have my laptop.
Yeah, yeah.
Really good, give you.
Well, we can do it. Casey, how much was it for us to do the, where we could use that in the meetings?
To do all the committee meetings, was it 3,500, Crystal?
For all of them?
Yeah, for the committee, yeah, I think, and that's for as many, 1 or 100, don't matter.
Because, it'll help Crystal.
Yeah.
We got.
Well, I even wonder if you, I wonder if there's just a voting app.
Yeah, there are some.
You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
probably 3 that you sign in,
I've
create
looked at
a
every
group,
one.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause all we need is, like, we don't need it to say what it is. We can have it right up where everybody have it on their thing and they just hit a
Probably.
yes, no, or.
Yeah, probably right.
Alright, we'll call the Budget, Finance, Human Resources meeting to order. Crystal, if you would, call roll.
Matthew Barnhill. Bob Calico.
He is here somewhere.
Clay Chesser. Danny Clark.
Here.
Todd Collins. Steve Giannakis.
Here.
Jim Herron.
Here.
Dusty Jordan.
Here.
Ron Mayberry. Ricky Murray.
Here.
Keith Nash. Devin Pickard.
Here.
Ron Puckett. Wayne Thomason.
Here.
8 present.
8 present, and Claude is here.
Oh, I mean.
Here. You all should have a copy of the agenda in your packet. Look for a motion. Got a motion by Commissioner Gordon, second by Commissioner Herron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We have on the first thing on the agenda here is the public comment period.
Nobody.
Nobody signed up for the public comment period. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes, and those should have been in your packet as well. Look for a motion to approve. Got a motion by Commissioner Herron, second by Commissioner Thomason. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Crystal, cover over the budget amendments, please.
Budget amendment 2658. This is a year-end cleanup for County General and Sheriff's Department, and there's some insurance recovery also included.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Thomason, second by Commissioner Pickard. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Bob Calico.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Giannakis.
Yes.
Jim Herron.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Wayne Thomason.
Yes.
8 yes.
8 yes, motion passes.
Budget amendment 2659 is from the Sheriff's Department. He's asking to use, to move money to purchase a vehicle, and he wants to do a split purchase between the sex offender reserve and then some insurance recovery.
A motion by Commissioner Thomason, second by Commissioner Clark. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Wayne Thomason.
Yes.
Bob Calico.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Giannakis.
Yes.
Jim Herron.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
8 yes.
8 yes, motion carries.
Budget amendment 2960. This is for the Sheriff's Department. They're asking to use their storage reserve for vehicle maintenance.
2660, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. A motion by,
Oh, sorry, 2660.
I think you said 29, but that's not. Got a motion by Commissioner Thomason, second by Commissioner Clark. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Wayne Thomason.
Yes.
Bob Calico.
Yes.
Danny Clark,
Yes.
Steve Gianna,
Yes.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Ron Mayberry,
Pass.
Ricky Murray,
Yes.
and Devin Pickard,
Yes.
8 yes.
8 yes, motion carries.
Budget Amendment 2661. This is from, the library board is asking to use the reserve from property sale to tint the windows at the library.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Commissioner Clark, second by Commissioner Calcutt. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Devin Pickard,
Yes.
Wayne Thomason,
Yes.
Claude Callicott,
Yes.
Danny Clark,
Yes.
Steve Gianna,
Yes.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Ron Mayberry,
Yes.
Ricky Murray,
Yes.
9 yes.
9 yes, motion carries.
Budget Amendment 2662 is for our solid waste department. This is a cleanup amendment, and he's also increasing his revenue for the commercial and industrial waste to take care of the disposal fee, and it should come in with that increase.
Have a motion by Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Herron. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Devin Pickard,
Yes.
Wayne Thomason,
Yes.
Claude Callicott,
Yes.
Danny Clark,
Yes.
Steve Gianna,
Yes.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Ron Mayberry,
Yes.
Ricky Murray,
Yes.
9 yes.
9 yes, motion carries.
Budget Amendment 2663. This is the ambulance service moving money around to purchase a ventilator.
Got a motion by Commissioner Mayberry, second by Commissioner Clark. And this was, separate from the packet that Crystal sent, but you should have received it as well, so. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Ricky Murray,
Yes.
Devin Pickard,
Yes.
Wayne Thomason,
Yes.
Claude Callicott,
Yes.
Danny Clark,
Yes.
Steve Gianna,
Yes.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Ron Mayberry,
Yes.
9 yes.
9 yes, motion carries.
And that's all of my budget amendments.
It's all the budget amendments, HR business, the chair is not aware of any. Is anyone else aware of any HR business? Next up, Mr. Coates. In your packet, you should have a sheet that Mr. Coates is gonna be talking about.
First thing, I wanna thank the, Budget Committee and the County Commission for giving me enough money to finish up, Mall Springs Road. We did half of it on, state aid last year, and y'all gave me some money out of that fund to finish up the rest of it. And it's a real good road through there. We've got some more roads up there that are in bad condition. And if you'll see, I'm asking for that money out of that same fund, if y'all can do it. And, if any questions, just ask me, but, I'm gonna go over them here. The first one is the Green Cemetery Road, that's out there at the industrial park where Mr. Rinker built his building. We widened that road out so we can get 24 foot on it from the highway to the end of his property. He gave us the right of way to do that with. And this will be done up to industrial specs, which calls for more asphalt, costs for 3 inches of binder and 1.5 inches of topping. And then this will be painted lines on it and shoulder stone. Then the rest of that road on through there, I put it in here to do it on over to League and Love Road. But it's pretty fair shape, so we can get by doing 1.5 inches of CW on it and put shoulder stone on it. And then the League and Love Road, we're gonna do it on state aid this year. Of course, our state aid money won't be available till after July 1. And I usually get around about 209,000 is all the state aid money that we get, which they don't do a whole lot. And I figured the county's portion on that, it's a 75-25 split. County's portion would be about $80,000. And then the new cutoff road is miles. It would be 2 inches of CW mix, painted lines and shoulder stone. And you see your price there, and then Old Cox Pipe is 1.10 miles. All these is 18 foot. Now the original price that Mr. Eubanks worked up for me, he called me the other day, oil went up 6%. The oil index price did, and so it's roughly around about 40 to 45,000 more than what the original quote was for all these roads. Oil went up that much, and it's gonna go higher, and if we're gonna do it, now's the time we need to do it. He said he could start work on it, probably around about the 1st of June. So I'm just asking if y'all would consider giving me this $746,636.50 to do them roads out of that same fund that you gave me the money from Moss Springs. This I have nothing to do with the maintenance effort. This would just be money, that one-time money that you give me to do these roads with. And if you don't hardly come to that much, it'd just be whatever the invoices on the mix and everything will be. Cause I know last time y'all authorized up to 250,000 from Moss Springs, and it was like 248,000 and something dollars. I know I got to present my regular budget next Monday night, but I wanted to get this started, to get this in the process, so if y'all are gonna approve it, I can let them know that there's some prep work that we've got to do on the roads beforehand too, before he starts the paving and all the work.
Commissioner Clark?
You mentioned a $45,000 increase because of the oil index.
Yeah.
Is that in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was because the original bill was about 45,000 less, but he called me the other day and said the oils went up, and of course I'm looking on our next annual bid for everything to be a lot higher, because everything has really went up, oil, diesel, gas, and rock products.
The money I think Mr. Coates is talking about is from the sale of the 23 acres up there is where
Yeah,
we kind of pulled that money from for that Moss Branch. So.
Yeah. And these are some much needed roads that need to be fixed. It will improve the safety, and it's a lot of growth up in that end of the county. And I think it would be money well spent to fix these roads, because a lot of them roads are so rough. If you tried to tar and chip them, you ain't gonna make them no better. And it would take so much asphalt to even level them up. You'd be better off just going ahead and pave it and be done with it. And you won't have to worry about it for about 30 years.
I think, you know, it'd be good for us to consider this and think about this, but also in conjunction with the overall budget, because we gotta see kind of where everything's coming in. You all did receive the value of the penny and the proposed tax rate, so I think that all kind of needs to be a little bit of the discussion, so we kind of understand where we start out at, and ensure that we have, you know, everything funded correctly.
But I just wanted to present that to you tonight, so y'all can be thinking. Does everyone have a copy of this?
Yes, they should.
Okay.
Commissioner Cobb.
Money from the sale of that property, it's in a separate line. I cannot remember.
It's not, I think it just went
It just
into the
went
general
in.
fund, right?
Okay.
It's not earmarked for anything.
Right.
We call it reserve, is it reserved, is that what you?
No,
or- Well, I'm
there's no
saying,
action ever, but it's in the,
but that's generally, like, if it's reserved fund, in the general fund, but it's reserved, that means it's for maybe a
specific
grant or something.
purpose.
Yeah, specific purpose, so it is not.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ronald. All right. Now up, I know we're a little early, but nonprofits, if we have some here, I know, see, senior citizens are here. I don't know if the Women Are Safe is here. I see, is that Shady Grove or Pleasantville? Okay. If we wanted to, we can go ahead, if you all are good with it? I know we're a little bit early, all right. The nonprofits, yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, then unfinished business and new business, so. So if everybody's in agreement, then we'll, senior citizens wanna come up first and present, that'd be great. And that information, Crystal, is in one of these manila envelopes?
Yes, it should be the one, it should be in order.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can take one part.
First
Thank you.
middle envelope.
Go right ahead.
I'm Teresa Kraft. I'm the director of the Senior Center, and just wanted to stress to you how important that a senior center is to our older adults and how much that it affects or helps their mental capacity and their physical ability. We offer a variety of activities that include physical health and well-being. Our participants they can play cards, we play bingo, we have a pool table, a shuffleboard court, we have an exercise equipment and an instructor-led exercise class that is led by Miss Ann Mobley. And she has about 20 to 30 participants on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when she has her class. She focuses on aerobics and strength training. She does a weekly newsletter that encourages them to stay physically active. She does health screening, and then the class itself is, you don't have to go with everything she does. She has chairs that you can sit in and modify to your physical abilities. We partner with the South Central Human Resource Agency to do the Meals on Wheels program. It is served out of our center. And then we have about 20 home delivery recipients, and those are delivered by volunteers. That same meal is served at our center for anyone 6 years over for a suggested donation of $1.50. This is all Monday through Friday, and it's a hot meal, hot nutritional meal. We partner also with the Hickman County Health Department and the UT Extension Office. Currently, Lori Freeze with the Health Department is coming the 21st of April to start a Take Charge of Your Diabetes program. And Emma Mars, the new Family and Consumer Science agent, just started an Eat Well, Feel Well class, and she's teaching you simple recipes that you can prepare on a budget and that are healthier and nutritious for you. And then we are working with the Hickman County High School audiovisual class to do a technology class that would teach our seniors or older adults to work with iPads, their smartphones, and tablets and computers and that type of technology. Medicare, each year during open enrollment, partnered with the district office in Mount Pleasant, the South Central Tennessee Development District. They have volunteers that come over and help individuals with decide which Medicare plan is best for each individual. And then lastly, the Senior Center is a vital resource for our community, I do believe.
And I'm Jane Herron. I chair the board of directors for the Hickman County Senior Center. And I just want to say that we're very, very well run as a center, and it is due to our executive director. She puts 150% of her effort into taking care of things there, and I think this body would agree. I don't believe y'all had any complaints about anything down there for several years. We have a very, very good board, very active board, very interested board in seeing that the center is run well and that we offer as much programming as much as we can. And then, the most exciting thing that I think we've had happen in the past year is, and we came before this body to ask your permission to do so, is that we got a nice grant to pave all of the parking lot at the facility. We even paved the road all the way around the building. And that has been a very, very good thing for the people that attend the center, because they're not walking on gravel. It's a safety thing, so it's much better. It really enhanced the look of the facility. It's dressed it up a lot. And, the last thing I have is, we are having an open house on April the 17th from noon until 2 p.m. We'd like to invite all of you to come and attend that and see our paving. That's what we're excited about. Any questions for either of us?
No, Teresa, it's been mentioned before, the fence that runs between the senior citizens and the ballpark. Have you guys thought about taking that down, or is it, or the county? That would be something to me that would improve the looks, but also beneficial, because the ball, I know down at Toomey, they have state tournaments and parking's an issue. And obviously, maybe if they could use the senior citizen facility to park, I mean, just overflow crowd, because I know they've had that problem in the past few years, just.
We did discuss this at our last board meeting to start the process of trying to get some grant funds to get that cleared out and start working on that.
And I have spoken with Chris Seal at the ballpark, and we are working on that fence issue right now. They're gonna look at maybe being able to make some repairs, if we can repair the fence. We want it to be a joint effort with them. We would like to have that kind of cleaned up and straightened up, because we think it enhances their facility as well as our facility. Because we can offer overflow parking for the ballpark, and we also now have a picnic pavilion behind the center that we're more than well offer, to offer to ballpark attendees if they want to use a little picnic pavilion. So we're working on that. That is in the works.
Any other questions or discussion? Of course, I didn't preface this, but obviously, we're gonna take all these into consideration, and then we'll be making some decisions over the budget meetings that we'll be having this month. But definitely appreciate you all coming and presenting and talking about what you all are doing. And I've not been down to the Senior Citizen Center since the late '80s, so I probably need to come down there for the open house.
Check us out.
We're heading in that direction. I'm glad it's downhill to Toomey, so we can make it easily down there, yeah, so.
Exactly.
Good spot to be in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Women Are Safe, or is anybody here for Women Are Safe? If not, that's fine. We will come back to them. Is the Humane Society, is it, y'all ready to talk? We're running a little early, so if you're waiting on somebody, it's okay.
I'm Vicki Chester.
I'm Erica Hickman.
We represent a very, very hard-working group of individuals. We have been in existence from 1996. That's when we got our 501c3. We have people who work, honestly, I'm not exaggerating, 7 days a week taking care of animals. In fact, we have a couple people who would have been here tonight, but they're taking care of animals. I have always said that not only does the Humane Society take care of homeless, neglected, abused animals in Hickman County, but this organization benefits people as well. A lot of people don't see it that way. The reason I say that, we have had several calls over the last few years. Of course, we have a hotline that we have manned all the time, but we've had several calls over the last few years where we have a distressed 80-year-old who is in their house and they're afraid to walk to their vehicle because there's a vicious dog that's been dropped on them. This happens time after time after time. So one of the things that we do is to try to alleviate that situation with the sheriff's department. Hopefully, one day, once we get our shelter going, then this won't be as much of an issue in the future as it has been in the past. However, the Humane Society, our group, we have tried. This year, we're very excited because almost every month, except for January, we've had a fundraiser. So not only are we constantly taking care of animals, we're doing fundraisers. We, like I said, try to do something every month. So we're working as hard as we can, but we still need help from the county, and we would appreciate any help that we could get. As we have in the past, we always appreciate everything. We try to stretch our dollars as far as we can. We are constantly looking for innovative new ideas, new fundraisers. In fact, we've done several new fundraisers this year. We have a yard sale coming up a week from Saturday. So we're working hard, trying to do our best, but we would appreciate any help that the board could give us, the Board of Commissioners.
I am the hotline director. I took that over, I think it's been, I don't know, close to a year probably since I joined the team of handling the phone calls. So I am the person that everything comes to as far as community-related incidents, whether that be aggressive dogs, stray animals being dumped, anything like that. Like Vicki said, we handle a lot of community issues. So especially, oh my gosh, right now the number of cat colonies that we are dealing with, people are calling, complaining, saying that they're destroying property, whatever the situation is, we try to jump in and help as much as we can with getting these animals altered, with getting them rehomed, whether that be as barn cats or actually, adoptable. I'm also a foster with Hickman Humane. There are a handful of us that do it on the dog side and on the cat side, and we still cannot keep up. We do as much as we can, but we are a very small group of people that can only do so much. But one of the big ways that we are able to help is through our trap, neuter, return program. So that's specifically dealing with cats as far as getting them trapped, getting them fixed so that they don't continue adding to the overpopulation. But that is probably one of the biggest areas where the funding is going, is to try to work on the overpopulation. We also work with a lot of other partner rescues because we don't have a shelter here yet. As far as kind of outsourcing some of these animals when these other rescues, the relationships that we have with them, when they have availability to take animals in, when they are, they're strays, they wander off, they're dumped, people don't get their animals fixed, and so then they have too many. We basically do a lot of the legwork of trying to get these animals placed into better situations. Or just, like she said, helping out we get a lot of calls from senior citizens that just, they can't afford to get them altered, or they can't afford to keep up with feeding the animals that they do have and things like that. So we step in a lot of those situations and try to help as much as we're able to. And like she said, we've been working really hard as far as trying to fundraise and come up with our own funding, but we need more to be able to cover the gaps, because I probably got 5 phone calls today from elderly folks who are on disability and they can't afford to get the animals fixed. They love their pets, they want to keep them, but we just need to make sure that wheel doesn't keep turning on the puppies and the kittens, because we can't keep up as it is. So yeah, it's, and as far as like vaccinations, treatments, things like that, deworming and all those things, making sure that the animals are healthy and all those things too. So that's kind of where a lot of the budget goes.
And the president and I meet at least once a month working on grants, but a lot of people don't understand that grants most of the time are very specific. If you get a grant for one thing in particular, the money has to be used for that one thing. And when she mentioned the cats, we recently received a grant to be used only on feral cats. Like she said, we have several feral cat colonies in Hickman County. So with this grant money, we'll be able to have those animals altered.
Yeah, the shelter will absolutely be an asset when it gets here. The problem is it's going to fill up super, super quickly. So trying to get a handle on and keeping up with as much as we can as far as getting them altered, getting them placed into homes. And trying to keep the pressure off once the shelter does open.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
I just want to thank y'all for the work that you do. I don't know these people. I've known Vicki forever, and what they do, it's amazing. I don't know before. I guess as Humane Society ever received any money from the county before? Okay, I know our foundation's helped out and we want to, and I know, you know, people come up to me, well, we're all for a dog, but I guarantee the dogs appreciate some of the money more than some of the people that we give money to, so I just appreciate the job that y'all do, and me personally, I will try to do everything I can to help out, cause you guys do, and you're right, you're talking about the hours, my goodness, the hours you guys put in, so I tip my hat, and I hope we can help out.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. We appreciate all the help that we have received in the past.
Any other discussion? If not, thank y'all, thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Women are safe, I believe I saw her come in.
We've got a couple more, yes. We're stocked, we're about pretty good right now.
I just got here.
You can stand wherever you want to, you can come in now.
This is better. My name is Vanessa Davis. I'm the executive director at Women Are Safe. I've been there, I think, 18 years. We've been providing services to victims of domestic violence in Hickman County since 1987. And one of the main ways that we do that is through our shelter. This is a place that people can go who are not safe at home to access resources to, first of all, get safe and bring their children to a safe home. And then we start working with them to set goals that they choose for themselves. High on that list is always affordable housing. So we allow people who are working toward that goal to stay in shelter until something comes available, as long as they've turned in applications and done the necessary steps to get on those wait lists, which are very long right now. Our shelter, what we call bed nights, which is 1 night per person in the shelter, has gone from pretty high to just, now we have a wait for the shelter all the time, because affordable housing there's a wait for that, so we don't have sometimes that turnover that we would like to. But we take advantage of those extra weeks to help people get really connected with other community resources, because we could not do this without our community partners. So we really try to connect people with as many of those resources as possible and get them ready so that when they get out on their own, they can stay that way. And you guys are such a huge help. We could not do this without the extra funding that we get from the county. We do get most of our money from the state of Tennessee. That funding has been cut. I know I've said this to y'all like so many years in a row. This last year was the first year, meaning the fiscal year that we're ending right, at the end of June, in probably 5 or 6 years that we haven't had significant cuts to that budget. So in the meantime, we've lost a couple of positions at Women Are Safe. We're down to 4 people, including me. And we have had to cut back on some of our services. But hopefully we will be able to bring back a court advocate to we have 1 court advocate, but we've had to increase the hours of another part-time position so that she could cover court. So we would really like to add that position back. It's such an important point for people, because court is a place that, it's a public place obviously, and we can get the docket ahead of time and identify victims of domestic violence with that docket, and then we can discreetly find them at the courthouse and tell them about our services and see if they need shelter or need any of the other things that we can offer. And basically, we just do everything we can to help people, to meet them where they are, help them with household supplies, or if they need a ride to the doctor, or if their kids need to get caught up on immunizations. Cindy, our shelter director, has taught numerous clients how to drive, and they've been able to get their driver's license or their GED and things like that really help them be able to sustain like a safe, independent life. And I'm just so proud to work with those women. Our board of directors is amazing. And we're part of the Tennessee Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence, which is a statewide coalition. And we get lots of great training and other funding opportunities. Sometimes they get grants like the Hickman Humane was saying that are for specific things. So we were able to get new siding on our shelter last year through that. So I do try to stay plugged in as much as possible to those other sources. But we really need that the funding from you guys to fill in the gaps because of the cuts that we've had in the years past, and we would like to get back up to a more sustainable level so we can help more people. So that's what we're requesting our funding for, is just to keep our shelter going, and if possible to bring in more hours for our court advocate. So you guys have any questions for me?
I'll just make a comment. I've known Vanessa and her staff for a long time, and you can tell they have hearts that they would do this even if they weren't getting paid. And I think that I cannot imagine all the scenarios and situations you guys have to deal with, and I'm personally aware of some of them. And we could not be more well represented in our community by a group of folks like Vanessa and her staff to do what they do, because it is a ministry for sure, and an outreach. And unfortunately, it's one that's probably, as you said, you've got a wait list, so it's getting more and more and more needed.
Yeah.
I wish we could just wave a magic wand and give you $1 million, because I know you need it. And so, for whatever it's worth, I know you need a lot of money, but thank you for what you do. I know it's a very thankless task and job, but I know you've blessed a lot of lives and saved a lot of lives by just being able to be in the right place at the right time for a lot of these folks. So thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. And we do get feedback from people that have been in the shelter. Sometimes, I mean, now we get letters from kids that were in the shelter that are now adults that tell us like how that helped their family. Anyway, I could go on, but I'm not.
This is what I'm talking about. You don't get emotional if you don't care.
But we do, and that means a lot, so thank you, Kevin.
Any other questions, discussion? Thank you very much. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Next up is Shady Grove Community Center.
You want me inside or outside?
Wherever you feel like standing, be fine.
And we thank y'all for letting us come up and speak tonight. I'm Johnny Wilson. I'm the president, and vice president is Ms. Rhonda Dale sitting back there. But we sent the pamphlet out to everybody, booklet. Richard Shepler, our treasurer, drew it up, and he's very proficient with this kind of stuff. I'm not. But I'm not gonna go through all of it or nothing, but it's real self-explanatory of what we're doing at Shady Grove. In fact, this weekend, we got a yard sale going on this weekend. I'd like to invite everybody. Has anybody here never been to the Shady Grove School? You never have?
Oh, I have. I'm sorry, so
Okay.
you have been there. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'd like for all of you to come by and see what we're doing. We're fixing to hit a milestone. We're gonna be, we think it's 1928, but maybe it was 1927 when the school opened. We're getting real close to being 100 years old and the school's still standing. Closed in 77, and it's, still being used. We do shut it down from end of December to the 1st of March, and we start our yard sales. We've got a auto show we're gonna have this year, May the 2nd, our first one. We've got a beauty pageant in 2 weeks for Miss Shady Grove. It's something new. I have no idea what's going on with that. I'll be there. I'm not gonna enter, but I will be there. But our main thing right now,
I'm not coming.
our main thing right now is we've got the schoolhouse itself in pretty good shape. It looks just like it did when it closed. The auditorium, all the little seats for all the students, classroom. We've got one room set up with the old desk from that era, and the teacher's desk, and basketball uniforms from the 30s or 40s. But our gymnasium, which is a standalone building by itself, it's big. We got 3 or 4 people set up in there today for the yard sale tomorrow. But it's never had running water or bathrooms. They have to go walk from there down to the restrooms at the school, which are on the very back. They were added years after the school was built. And, which we did have portable outside the last few years. But anyway, we're getting water, a septic system put in, 2 bathrooms built on out the back door attached to the building. If you go out the back door, they'll be enclosed, men and women separate. And hopefully we're gonna get some help with our getting water run from the school up to the gymnasium for the bathroom and a sink to, you know, clean up and stuff. We have a big fundraiser in September every year. Be a fish fry this year, silent auction, bake sale, raffles, live music. We'll have live music at the car show, by the way. And the guy's really good. If you get time to come, it'll be, like I say, it'll be May the 2nd. But we'd like to invite all of you to come out. And, you know, we're not asking for money for our whole project. It's gonna cost us somewhere around $30,000, maybe 35, something like that, to do this water treatment. And, but we've got some money. We sent our financial report in with this, and we've got some money, but we're still lacking. We'd like to get it done before September, before we have our next big sheen dig. But other than that, and we know how the budget's tight for everybody. Anything at all that y'all could help us with to get this, it's for the community. It's a few of us do most of the work, but it's for the community, and we have a big turnout. If you can come to the yard sale this weekend, I'll grill hamburgers and hot dogs for you. I do it every month, and that's how we make most of our money, is food sales, donations, that type of thing. But anything that y'all could help us with, we certainly would appreciate it. None of the money goes to anything other than the upkeep of the building. I mean, we don't buy furniture, small stuff we pay for ourselves. We don't ask for money. But this is the last real big thing. We're gonna do the outside, that we probably won't do that till next year. Wood's rotting but like I say, it's almost 100. I don't know if there's another school open, operating, that's 100 years old in Hickman County. I don't know. It's a really neat looking building if you've never been there. It really is, especially the school. Gymnasium's amazing. Everything is just the way it was. Nothing's changed. We did put central heating and air in last year, so something did change. And that's it. That's all we're doing, just asking, for a little help if possible. Has anybody got any questions for me?
I know you're right. It is an amazing facility, and the gymnasium, it is. When you step in there, you're stepping back in time. And help me here, I'm not caught up on my country music. Who was the country music star that did that?
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson, okay.
One of his first videos was done in that gymnasium.
In that gym. So that was probably 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
Oh, longer than that.
Oh, maybe 20 years, okay.
Yeah, maybe 30.
Okay.
maybe 30.
Looked like I'm in the senior citizen center too. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, I'm 73 years old, but I wasn't there then.
Okay, yeah,
But any other questions, or, like I say, this is really self-explanatory.
We appreciate you coming. I've been there several times for Halloween events. My kids walked away with all kinds of candy and all kinds of stuff.
And in December, we have a clothes drive. We give clothes away. You ain't gotta buy them. Winter clothes, Christmas time. I think it's in November, we have a thing for kids to come in. We have a room, just the kids. Parents aren't allowed to go in there with them. And they can pick out a toy or something, or pocket knife maybe for their dad, to give their siblings and their family, a gift. We wrap it for them, put the name, let them write the names on the tags, and they take it home, put it under the Christmas tree to give to their parents or their siblings the next day. And if you hadn't seen something like that, the kids really go crazy over that. They really enjoy it. But anyway, I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. See y'all this weekend at the yard sale.
Pleasantville Community Center.
thank y'all for the time tonight. I'm Pete Tibbs, I'm the chair of Pleasantville Community Center. A lot of people don't realize this, but Pleasantville Community Center is an additional or separate building from the Pleasantville Fire Department. What Pleasantville Community Center does for our fire department is it gives us a place that we can have our meetings, we do our trainings and that sort of thing. Pleasantville Community Center is independent of its own. It has a lot of people that live in our community that can't serve on the fire department but want to volunteer. They come in and they volunteer on the community center side. We have made partnership with our health department. We've offered a lot of mental health opportunities down on the west end of the county. We offer affordable access for community events. This is how we generally raise our money to pay our electric bills and our water bills by renting the space out for community, people that are in need there. We support a lot of family needs there. We try to have at least one meeting a month, aside from the volunteer meetings, to have some type of event for the citizens that live on the west end of the county. We're a designated voting location. We've been for as long as I can remember down there. And we also offer a safe recreational place for children. We were able to get a grant through Department of Health, and we were able to expand our playground, and we're continuing to grow in that playground to offer the kids on the west end of the county a place to come and play and be safe while doing so. We're looking at the reason for this request is we've never requested anything for our community center. Most of the time it's through donations. Any of y'all have ever been there to a fundraiser that Pleasantville Fire was having, you'll notice the tables, the chairs, the rocking chairs, everything in that facility has been donated or been bought for by grant through the community that we live in. And so, as time goes on and things go on, those slow down. This past year, we've had we opened the doors to that community center a lot for needs, emergency needs, and just the fuel cost and electric cost and water cost, everything just keeps increasing. So we want some improvements tonight. Be in your packet includes some infrastructure utility support related to some shelter operations. We found out during this last year there were a lot of things that our community could do better with sheltering people in our community. So there's some things that we've come together as a board and talked about, things that we would like to purchase that we could be on the ready for those types of things in the event that it happens again. And just general maintenance and repair. Some things that needs to be touched up on our building. The building was built in 2000. So we did some upgrades last year with some grant money, and the year before that was some money that we had in our account, but there's more work that needs to be done. So these funds will be utilized and worked through the next 12-month period. Do y'all have any questions for myself?
Pete, how many people stayed there during the recent storm, and how long were they there?
So there were some that were just staying during the daytime and then traveling back. The overnight stays, I think the max we got to was about 18. Don't hold me to that number. But during the day, we were having as high as 40, 50 people come through and get lunches, dinners, whatever, in that facility. It was one of the few places on the west end of the county that we had generator power. So.
And it stayed open how long, approximately? How many days?
7 days.
7 days. Chris Clark.
What a fish fry.
When's the fish fry?
Turkey shoot is next week. The fish fry, I believe, is set for September.
When?
Oh, no, it's July, late in the
Late
day
July.
though, so it's not July.
What you like?
You gonna help me cook fish this year?
There's a lot of candidates in the room now.
Yeah. If y'all wanna try your chance at turkey, shooting for turkeys, it's on the 18th. Other than that, I go day by day and week by week. Any other questions for me?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you do. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess and then we'll come back and hear from the fire protections. Take a 5-minute recess. That clock is 6:23, so we'll come back at 6, we'll just call it 6:30.
Hey, nobody. I didn't look, you can do the math, I just looked at that part, but that's a pretty big increase. Yeah, it's gonna be a good conversation. It's gonna be a short conversation.
Okay, sounds good.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. So he was, hey.
Yeah.
Next up is the Hickman County Fire Association, so who's speaking?
Put my glasses on, man. We're trained, I still got stickers.
I think we've got everybody. Good evening. First off, thank you all for hearing us all out. Our community has a lot of needs, and you guys are seeing to it that a lot of those needs are being met the best you can, and I thank you for that. Some of you have met, most of you I haven't. My name's Kevin Baxter. I'm the fire chief at East Hickman Fire. Tonight I'm here representing the Fire Association on behalf of all 5 departments that are members of it. We are, of course, a 501c3, fully registered nonprofit organization, and I feel it important to point out the fact no one as a member of that organization receives pay, compensation, or benefits to do what we do. Last year, this commission made the decision to donate $156,000 for fire protection for the entire community. Now, based on the best census, and as accurate as we can be, we've got about 26,000 citizens in the community. I believe that to be fairly close across the county. That equates to about $6 per citizen for fire protection across the entire county. Now, if we scour the United States, what we find is even in volunteer communities, the lowest number I could find is approximately $16 per citizen for a volunteer organization. That number goes as high as $70 per citizen. If we had a full-time paid fire department in this county, that expense would soar to well over $200 per citizen at minimum. Let's face it, we can't afford that, right? The volunteer fire service is a cost-saving mechanism. It is not an expense by any means. But unfortunately, that cost-saving mechanism is not free. Quite often, as many of the organizations that have talked to you tonight have spoke of, we've talked about grants as being our saving grace. The reality is, grants are not free. Most of the time, they're very specific. They require time to write them. Even if we were to employ a grant writer, that is an expense. Even when we receive grant money, quite often federal grants do require a cost share, which means if we're given $1 million, we still got to come up with $100 grand just to have the opportunity to receive that grant. The reason I mention that is a county, a fire department, or no department can sustain off grants alone. Grants help us buy things, but they do not help us cover regulatory expenses like fuel, $6 a gallon for diesel today. They don't help us cover things like cost of hoses and turnout gear 100%. We also have other things that we must pay for regardless of the department that we're in. Grants certainly help us, but they're not our saving grace. So when I look at the value of the fire service in the county, I have to implore you to understand that we are truly a cost-saving mechanism for every single citizen in the county. Our EMS director isn't here tonight, but our sheriff certainly is. I'm sure he would be happy to share that we provide scene safety as well as traffic control to assist the sheriff's department. Would that be correct, Sheriff? We also assist EMS. During the ice storm, for example, I had 7 firefighters living full-time at my station, and we responded to almost 100 calls. During that time, we were providing services to EMS, fully county-funded agencies that rescued people with cardiac events, struggling. We pulled ambulances out of ditches. We did those things. And we did it essentially at minimal cost to the community. And when I say minimal, let's put that into perspective. A single firefighter, a single volunteer firefighter, I have to mention, is not free, even though he comes to the county without an expectation of wage or health benefits. Would you be surprised if I told you that I need 10 firefighters right now in my district alone, which covers 70% of the population of this county? One firefighter, to onboard that one firefighter, even though he draws no wage, requires almost $20,000 of gear for one firefighter. That's astounding. That turnout gear, those air packs that keep him safe and alive and allows him the opportunity to enter that high risk, high situation costs a real cost of $20,000. Can we get a grant to do those things? Sure. But there's a 20 to 30% chance of getting those grants. But we work dang hard to get them. I can assure you of that. The county can't afford a full-time fire service, and that's why we're here to do what we do, and we do it proudly. All 5 fire departments work very hard for the community to do the absolute best we can to keep them safe. So what I come to you today with is an ask that is actually significantly more than last year. Last year, this commission agreed to give $156,000 to be divided between 5 fire departments to protect this entire county. That's $6 per citizen. I come to you today asking for $475,000. That is a massive ask, and I fully understand that, but please let me put that into perspective. Even on national averages, it is conservative to request $18 per citizen, and that's where that is. $18 per citizen. That is at the lowest end of the spectrum and almost $180 less than the cost of a full-time paid fire service. $475,000 is a significant amount of money, and I get it. But in the position that we were in, we believe and we feel that at some point we are going to be forced to compromise the level of service at which we can provide. And I want to put something else into perspective. The pride that goes on with the fire service. Mr. Tibbs, back here, the EMA director. I encourage all of you to look up Resolution 1815. Please look that up. Hickman County is one of the 37 counties in the state of Tennessee that does not require minimum firefighter training. Think about that for a second. There are 37 counties in this state that a fella can walk off the street, climb on a fire truck, and try to save your life. However, in 2018, the fire chiefs wanted better for the citizens of this community and insisted that we have minimum fire training. If you're going to be a fire department and a firefighter in Hickman County, you better know what you're doing. But then, all of us chiefs have stepped it up. I can tell you right now that the firefighters that are allowed to respond to a fire at your home better have their FEMA 100, 200, 700, 16-hour core, their 64-hour firefighting, and if they're going to go interior, they better have a live burn too. That training is provided for free because we are a volunteer service, not paid. But that also means that those firefighters are giving that time for free as well. So you can take a lot of pride as commissioners for Hickman County knowing that even though we don't have to have that training, we have it. And that brings value. We are a cost-saving mechanism, providing assistance and help wherever we can to the other fully funded agencies in the county. I understand my ask is big, but my ask is only $18 per citizen, and even there we're being conservative. We are on the lowest end of the spectrum, and quite frankly, that's about a fourth of what some citizens pay for their solid waste. We're going to do the best we can no matter with what we have. But I ask each of you, if you have any questions as you're considering our budget request, even though I know it's huge, if you have any questions and you want transparency and you want to know where this money is really going and what it's buying and what it's doing for the community, please reach out to any of the fire chiefs. Come to our fire departments. Look and see where it's going and how hard these guys are working. I promise you, the citizens of this community are gonna get their money's worth. And no one is paid to do it. What's a life worth? 18 bucks a year? I think it is. Can I answer any questions?
I got a question. I think you mentioned 475, but the request was for 633.8 is what's on our paper, so.
That is correct. I'm coming with you with the,
475.
that's correct. What I'm coming to you with is essentially my ask, is essentially the bare minimum before. Let's be transparent, Mr. Giannakis. There's the things, and then there's the must-haves. That's what I come to you with at 475.
Okay.
I present it this way in the fact that anything below that, we do truly begin to compromise the level of service that we can provide, the assistance that we can provide to Sheriff Kraft, the assistance that we can provide to EMS, the opportunity we have to improve our ISO scores so that we can lower insurance costs for every citizen in this county and every business that may be proposing to come in, the level at which we can have our hose test, pump test, ladder tests. The fact that technically NFPA says I can't roll a fire truck that's more than 10 years old, but yet my best fire truck is 24. Mr. Tibbs, what's your oldest fire truck?
Oldest?
Yes, sir?
80.
A 40-year-old fire truck. NFPA says we're not allowed to use that truck, but we don't have $1.5 million to replace it. So that 475 that I come to you with is because I can turn wrenches, so can Mr. Tibbs, so can my guys. We're doing our own oil changes, vehicle maintenance, DOT inspections, but we're having to make compromises. So my ask comes with compromise, understand. And at some point, every agency is coming to you guys with an increase because, let's face it, costs are going up. And at some point, we have to decide where we put it. So my ask for 475, yes, it's less than your request. But I see that as a jumping off point and where we have to really think of where the compromises are going to come from and who's going to pay the ultimate price. Because let's face it, here's where I sit. Many of you would not be affected by fire. Most of the fire responses and medical responses that we have are not at new homes. They're not at nice homes or homes that have been built over the past 10, 15 years. Most of the responses that we go to are homes that have been here for 20, 30, 40 years, mobile homes, people that don't have the resources that we may have. Those are the people that we serve, and as bad as I hate to say it, that's the majority of our community. Those are the people we serve. We're not serving the wealthy, we're serving people that can do the best we can, doing the best they can. And what I can tell you is during that ice storm, we fought house fires. My guys giving it everything that they had to save a home. From somebody that, did they make a dumb decision? Sure, but it wasn't a dumb decision because they were doing the best they could to just stay warm. And that's what we have to think of. Those are the people we serve. I may never, and God hopes I don't ever have to come to any one of your homes to put out a fire. But it's the older homes, the majority of our population, those are the people that we serve, and that's why we do what we do. So I'm asking you, let's think about those people. And those are the ones that we're here for, and they are the majority of the people in this county. Any other questions?
Any other discussion in regards to this or questions?
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks for what you do and appreciate you showing up and talking to us a little bit about this. That's all for the nonprofit presentations. is there any unfinished business or any action that we want, before I do unfinished business, any action you wanna take on nonprofits tonight that, we typically kinda look at the numbers, we got the workbooks, everybody got the workbooks, numbers in there. Nothing on the nonprofits, any unfinished business we need to discuss? I'm not aware of any new business. Y'all did receive a proposed, tax rate, as well as the value of the penny. Any, discussion on that we wanna have? Obviously, we're gonna get into the, a lot more of the budget on Monday night. Any questions about that? Did you wanna, talk a little bit about when the certified tax rate, when we're expecting that?
Hopefully, we'll have it by, we'll have it finalized by somewhere after the 20th, between there and the end of the month. State board will, I'm supposed to send it up sometime after the 20th, and the state board will get it approved then, so. The state board has already approved our tax roll, so, you know, what numbers you're starting to see is pretty much what we're gonna wind up with.
Okay.
But the state board has not approved our tax roll, but, the certified tax rate, they hadn't approved it yet.
So it's not really official until we get that back, right?
They did give us an approval on preliminary,
Yeah,
that's what y'all got.
gotcha, okay, good deal. And of course, we'll be meeting Monday night, we'll be hearing the county general, the drug fund, the AFT fund, debt service and highway department. Actually, the sheriff actually might end up going, on Thursday night. I've talked to him a little bit, so he may not be able to be here, but we may end up doing the sheriff's part on Thursday the 16th. I think I talked to most of you, I think everybody that's here, I didn't ask you, you'll be here Monday night, will you?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. So everybody, I think, that's here right now will be here, and hopefully we'll have a few more. So, any other new business?
Motion adjourned.
Got a motion by Commissioner Callicott, seconded by Commissioner Mayberry to adjourn, all in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Thanks, Casey.
Yes, sir.